Hi, my name is Al-Assi, and I'm going to be talking about Egypt. I spent a semester abroad in Egypt my sophomore year, and I witnessed some pretty interesting things that I would like to share with you here today. Some of y'all may be concerned as to why we chose Egypt because of the recent instability, but it was safe at the time that we went, so everything was okay. The city that we stayed at was Alexandria. And there are a lot of weird things about Alexandria. One of the unusual things is the traffic, and I wouldn't be talking about the traffic in Alexandria if I didn't think it was unusual. But basically, there's traffic day and night, night and day. It doesn't matter anytime you go to the street, there are going to be cars at a standstill. This is probably due to the fact, I was in Egypt for like 6 months, and I probably noticed about 2 stoplights the entire time, and any road signs over there were just decorations because no one followed them. Another thing that contributed to the traffic was pedestrians who would intermingle with cars and just walk in the middle of the street whenever they wanted to perform their daily activities, and that made it kind of hectic. Along with that, you have the street sellers who are also in the middle of the street, and they'll occupy certain portions of the road and just try and sell you anything, like little toys, like any products they have. Along with those street sellers, you have the street beggars who will press their face against the glass of the window of your car and basically give you napkins in exchange for change or like any little money that you would give them. Because of all this traffic, the Egyptian people get bored sitting in their cars, so they decide to entertain themselves. And so I've seen people get on top of their car and light a can of hairspray on fire and then just go right back in as if everything was normal. But that's not, I guess it's normal in Egypt, but that's really weird. Another thing about Egyptians is that they tend to have really large families and really tiny cars. So you're going to have things like this going on, and that's in the middle of the highway. So they're like hanging on for their lives, and the car is moving. And we actually had our own personal experience, not to that extent, but something similar. That's my dad, and he's in the front. Okay, so we're 5 people, and then there's a cab driver, which makes 6. The cab only holds 5 people, and then we have 5 suitcases. And if you count each suitcase as half a person, that's like 8 people. So now you're trying to fit 8 people in one 5-person car. Like, it's not going to work. So he's sitting on top of 2 suitcases, and then we're squished in the back, like, trying to survive. So there are many reasons to visit Egypt or to want to visit Egypt. There are lots of places that are worth seeing. And so many historical sites. That's one of the pyramids. And yeah. Okay. So anytime you have a tourist attraction, you're going to have people who try and make money off of the tourists that visit the sites. And so if you can just imagine you're in your tour bus or your car and you're driving to the pyramids, and then immediately after you exit, there are people surrounding you trying to sell you things. And the thing is they all sell the same thing for the exact same price, right? So the question is, like, which product do I buy? Well, that's a trick question because you're not supposed to buy any of those products. The worst mistake you can make is probably to make eye contact with any of the Egyptian merchants, smile, show any interest in any of their products whatsoever, or to look American, because if you look American, they're gonna hunt you down because they know you have money, and you're gonna be forced to purchase something. So yeah. Okay, I know it seems like because we were stuck in traffic and at the pyramids that that we didn't do any work while we were in Egypt, but no, that wasn't the case. We studied a lot. That was the reason we went and did a semester abroad. So this is our classroom, also known as our living room area in our apartment. And we would study over there. And yeah, so our teacher would come to our house, and she told us that if we reached a certain landmark in our studies, that she would buy us a cat. And so I mean, like all the hard work, it was going towards something, because we were going to get a cat and stuff, and we were happy about that. But the thing is in Egypt, the concept of pets is a little different. You don't really pet your pets. They kind of stay outside, and you kind of stay inside, and you'll put the food outside of the door, and they'll come, the leftovers. Like there's no kitty litter, there's no meow mix. Like they just eat real people food or whatever. And so, yeah. And one thing we didn't know going into Egypt was that the majority of pets over there are diseased and sick, and they have a lot of problems that you need to deal with. So whenever we got our cat, that's Simba right there, little white cat, yeah. I know he's really cute. But basically, we thought it would be a smart idea to get a checkup for our cat. So we could get, Simba would be clean and stuff, and everything would be okay, right? So we did, and that's the vet inserting medication into his ear because the vet discovered that he had ear mites, and so we decided to try and fix that. At this point, we thought, everything's great, everything's good. Simba's a clean cat, and, he's, yeah. But anyways, this is a picture of Simba infecting me with fleas. And so, like, we didn't know that humans could contract the fleas, but really, I got really itchy, and we realized that this is a problem, so we had to give Simba away, but Simba's okay now, and I'm okay now, I'm not infested anymore. Don't be afraid, or, yeah, okay, but yeah, and so even though we had a bunch of complications in Egypt, it was a great place to be, and I would love the chance to go back again. Thank you.